Next, City Manager Stuart Bedenbaugh will provide council and the public with an update on the city's response to Hurricane Helene. Mr. Bedenbaugh.
Thank you. As we know, we had the Hurricane Helene hit us early morning, September 27th. I want to summarize just some of the response and where we are going to go from here. We have cleared nearly all streets and intersections within the city limits. Every street that did not have trees tangled in power lines was opened by Sunday, September 29th, approximately 2 days after the storm hit. We began our manual inspection of daily garbage routes to ensure capability of garbage pickup. I know, for example, our Monday's pickup today were completed on time, and we'll start Tuesday's routes normally tomorrow, October the 15th. Most of the area north of Park Avenue has had one pass for debris removal as of today, October 14th. We've engaged with contractors. We've got one contractor that already helps us with debris and lot cleanup, has assisted in first pass clearing in the Gatewood subdivision and is currently working in the Powder House, Banks Mill, the cross streets between Powder House and Banks Mill. The Aiken County Emergency Management got for us 4 large roll-off containers. You may see roll-off containers strategically placed around the city, and that is to aid with efficiency of collecting debris by our staff or our contractors. Instead of having to haul it to a central location, they can take it to the dumpster roll-off, which can then be taken to the drop-off site while our crews are out collecting debris. We have Rye Patch almost clear, and Hopelands is expected to be clear in a couple of weeks. We set up the first FEMA-approved debris site in the CSRA, and it became operational on October 4th. This is not for public debris. This is for our staff and our contractors to take debris we pick up on the curb around the city. As of today, we've hauled approximately 1,000 loads, over 500 loads to the site. We will continue to work on storm debris removal utilizing our own crews. The contractor I mentioned, plus DOT and county contractors that we've engaged. DOT contractor will begin this week. We believe will begin this week. The contractor we procured using the county's contract will begin picking up tomorrow as well. I believe that contractor will be working initially in the Hounds Lake area. So we expect that to begin this week. With the DOT contractor, we've been in regular conversation with the Department of Transportation, and they are going to pick up on state roads, but we did ask if we could work internally in start off ourselves with our contractor and with our staff in the downtown grid and in those areas that we consider somewhat sensitive. We are continuing to clean parkways, repair pavers. You've probably noticed especially in our downtown, there's a lot of fluorescent spray painted where there's the sidewalks been rendered not smooth. And we've got to get those pavers repaired. We're continuing corrective tree work, including stump grinding, and we're already scouting out locations for future tree planting. Our engineering and utilities, our water and sewer service were never non-operational during the storm because of preparation. Plant staff was dispatched in the immediate aftermath of the storm. As you know, I think Dominion had 91% of their customers without power at the height of the storm, or at the post effects of the storm, and Aiken Electric 85%. We had a lot of generators up. One of the things we've done, especially since the ice storm 10 years ago was using FEMA grants and just council approving us making expenditures as part of our budgeting process to have a lot of our critical utility and other infrastructure with backup generator power. The total fuel used for the generators was about 3,242 and a half gallons for our water side and 260 gallons for public safety. All utilities as of last Thursday were back up on full power. We have some utility crews assisting public services with debris removal. They have worked over 646 extra staff hours as part of this exercise. I mentioned about our sanitary sewer lift station with generators and pump arounds. They were moved constantly to keep overflows from occurring, and that was a successful endeavor. Public safety, as you can imagine, the traffic signals, we had about 35 of them rendered inoperable after the storm. Support staff and public safety work to ensure that all are working except for the light at Whiskey and Berry. It will take an extended amount of time to clear the debris at that intersection before we can get the contractor to rebuild it from almost scratch. Once it was safe, which was about 2 days after the storm, we put generators at our larger traffic intersections such as South Boundary and Whiskey, Hitchcock Parkway and Highway 421, Rudy Mason and Wire Road, Richland and Beaufort, Beaufort and Rudy Mason, Rutland and York, to power the signals. 2 of the locations ran on generator power for 6 days, being refueled regularly every 4 to 6 hours. At other intersections, we had temporary stop signs. We have about 15 city street signs around that we are aware of that are in need of repair. Mast arms in our downtown are being researched by the company we used in the mid-90s when they were first purchased. Some of those will take a time to be rebuilt and replaced and restored. About 6 of those arms had to be straightened and put back in line. Our traffic signal contractor spent 12 hours at the intersection of South Boundary and Whiskey and Richland and Chesterfield to get those back up with temporary wood poles. Public safety also hosted a giveaway of meals ready to eat and bottled water. Over 9,000 meals ready to eat were distributed. We responded to a major structure fire on York Street during this time as well. That was due to the sustained power outage. Parks, Recreation, and Tourism, we had facilities, our facilities were closed in the immediate aftermath of the storm for damage assessment. 5 facilities had delayed openings after October 2nd due to power outages. We had about 235 trees fall in 12 of our parks, with another 5 parks having large pieces of storm debris. Most damage occurred in green space or other outdoor space and not on facilities or amenities. The Carolina Bay suffered the loss of approximately 100 trees. We have hired contractors to begin cleanup. The observation deck and trails around the bay will be closed to the public until further notice. I believe we expect that work to start around October 20th. Jessica? Yep. So the clay tennis courts at the Weeks Tennis Center are closed until those can be fully repaired due to the washout of the clay playing surface. We expect that resurfacing to begin this week. In the days after the storm, our PRT staff worked hard to communicate to renters, instructors, coaches, participants, and the general public to inform them of closures, cancellations, and delays. We had approximately 59 facility rentals, 89 athletics activities, and 92 programs and events impacted. From October 2nd through October 9th, we were very proud and pleased to host approximately 300 Dominion utility workers at the Odell Weeks Center. And other than weddings at Rye Patch and the historic Aiken trolley tours, I'm happy to say all scheduled activities and reservations in PRT facilities have resumed. Just to build on what I mentioned a few minutes ago. I want to talk about the incredible amount of extra time across all departments that have been invested by staff beyond typical payroll hours between September 26th and October 4th. We logged, according to our payroll, 5,540 hours beyond typical payroll hours to address the storm by all staff. Our communications team did a very good job utilizing social media, including Facebook, Instagram, and X. The city website, TextMyGov, notifying the Aiken Standard, Aiken County Emergency Management Division to share information with the public. And analytics from Facebook shows posts reached 203,562 times. Post engagement was 56,409, and our city account gained 1,254 new followers. I also want to say thanks to council's proactive approval. We built in, again, since the last ice storm, redundancy in our network configuration and IT fiber ring. And that meant that during the duration of the event, our main city buildings, which are public safety, some of our critical utility infrastructure, and this building, never lost connection. By having generators installed in main city buildings. Again, most of this was done in the last 10 years. It allowed for essential work to continue throughout the storm response. I'm proud of how everybody has risen to the occasion to ensure that we could begin recovery. There's still a lot of work left to do. But again, we are throwing a lot of resources and contractors to help with the cleanup, because now we have pivoted to debris cleanup, and that has been ongoing. Again, I guess our staff began debris cleanup, Lex, probably the Monday after or maybe even before, but if the storm was Friday the 27th, we began hauling debris as early as the following Monday. So even earlier. So again, we are working with many contractors, and it's going to be a time-consuming process, but I'm confident that with city staff and partnership with the contractors and with the DOT and the county, it will be done as efficiently and effectively as possible. And that is, and I hope too, the scroll that was shown on the screen illustrates the scope of the damage, but we will get it cleaned up and recover. And that is my report given under the presentations of this meeting, Madam Mayor and Council.
Thank you. Wonderful job.
Madam Mayor, I just want to say with our city manager, this is a very detailed report on the occurrences that took place. And I know that, and you have it from almost every sector of our departments. So thank you for sharing that. This is some documentation that we'll be able to use forever with our remembrance of this occurrence within our city.
Absolutely. And again, I can't emphasize enough the hard work of our staff and this council and previous councils. Again, I've subscribed to no lesson learned from the second kick of a mule, and I try to live that. But certainly we have had, starting with the ice storm, FEMA events, and we look to improve after each one, and we'll find things to improve off of this. But this council and previous councils giving us the tools, meaning the ability to implement and purchase things that can, whether it's pieces of equipment, generators, redundancy, things that I've mentioned. Again, we'll probably come with other things after lessons learned from this event, but that has helped us, and certainly, most importantly, the citizens.
Thank you.
Thank you.